We'll hear from the Honorable Diego Bernal, who is, again, a representative and member of the Mexican-American Legislative Conference.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for having us. The testimony of Representative Clardy and the testimony of Ms. Bernal can't occupy the same space. And so what I thought I would do is walk us through the way a small section of the bill would affect a voter in real time in their life, to get away from the platitudes and more to the policy itself. And so here, let's say we have a voter who is 62. She prefers Spanish, isn't super comfortable with her English. Let's call her Senora Nicole. And she's always voted with an assistant, and in this case, the assistant would be me, her neighbor. I notice on election day that we haven't spoken, and so I go next door, knock on her door. She answers. Hi, Senora, it's Diego. Have you voted? She says she hasn't. Okay, well, let's go vote. I'll help you like I always do. Grab your keys, grab your chanclas, as I always say. I'll bring the car out front, come out, and I'll take you to the polling place. And so we go. When we get to the front of the line, the first thing I encounter that's new as her assistant is a new form that I have to fill out. And that form asks for my name, my address, my relationship to the voter, and it asks that I attest that I haven't been paid by a candidate or a campaign or a PAC. I don't know what the form is for. I don't know who gets it. I don't know if it's private. It takes time to fill out. In a neighborhood like ours, which is primarily Latino, it might add to the line, the length of the line, but we power through that. The next thing we encounter is the oath of the assistant. There are 3 new things in the oath that this bill would require. The first, generally, is that it's now under penalty of perjury, which means that a violation of it, even without intent, would result in a state jail felony. The next piece asks me to affirm that she has represented to me that the only reason why I am her assistant is because she cannot see, read, or write. In the past, a voter assistant was able to help navigate the polling place, interact with poll workers, and answer questions. That is gone. All I can do now is simply translate. And I have to say under penalty of perjury that she has told me that that is the only reason why I'm helping her. I've known her for years. We've never had that conversation. I'm not sure if I'm about to perjure myself. I don't know if I'm about to commit a crime. And so some people will stay beyond this point, but some people will go. Let's say we get past that part of the oath. There's a third part of the oath that says that I must attest and affirm that I did not coerce or persuade her, and in the Senate version it says encourage her to choose me as her assistant. And at that moment, I recall the conversation that we had on her front door. Senora, have you voted? Let's go. I will take you. I will be your assistant. Let's do it like we always do. Grab your stuff, meet me outside. Did I persuade her? Did I encourage her? Did I coerce her? I'm not sure. At that point, as I'm filling that out, I'm worried that I may have and am about to break the law. Again, some people will stay, but some people will go. Let's say we get past that part. We go to the actual voting machine. There, let's say she's asking me a question, which she can't really do, but I'm just translating. All I can do is translate. That's it. I can't do anything else. I'm translating State Board of Education race and a school board race. It's difficult. We're not breaking the law. There's a partisan poll watcher in the polling place who now has free range and free roam to get close enough to any voter to see and hear election activity. That is the law. They don't know what we're saying, but they may not like it. They might not like the tone. They might not like the language. They might not like the way that we look. They are allowed to disrupt, to harass, to physically move, to push us away. And the only thing that the election judge there can do to them is give them a warning, because the law says, Article 4, Section 4.01, Section G, page 11, starting on line 15, it says that a partisan poll watcher can break the election code or the penal code. And the only thing that the election judge can do to them is give them a warning. The election judge can only remove them if they themselves saw a second infraction. It doesn't matter if everyone in the polling place saw it themselves and reported it. The election judge has to see it themselves to remove that partisan poll watcher. The manager at Target has more latitude to protect their customers than an election judge in Texas would to protect voters under this bill. And some of the opponents may say, well, can't they call the police? Well, yes, they can. They can call the police. But that takes time. The police have to come and assess the situation. Voting at that polling place would stop or come to a halt. And just using my hometown of San Antonio as an example, there are over 300 polling places. The largest shift at any given time of SAPD is about 150 officers who have other and arguably better things to do. What happens to us? Do we finish her casting her ballot? If we do, does she want to come back if that's the new environment? What's the word of mouth when we get home as that experience spreads like wildfire, bad cheesemate? That can't possibly be who we are. And this idea that this bill makes voting easier, in this instance, I don't see how. There are no cases of voter fraud relating to voter assistance. In fact, just to give you numbers and I'll wrap up.
Please, you're over, so you can make your final point.
There are 154 prosecutions of voter fraud in the past 17 years in Texas. Out of 94 million votes cast, the likelihood of voter fraud in Texas is less than any one of us being struck by lightning.
Thank you, Representative Bernal, for your excellent testimony.